Hello, action figure collectors. Today we're going to be looking at 10 more random action figures that I pulled off my shelves. And this is going to be some DC Multiverse and Classics, I believe. So let's go ahead and get into these beautiful figures. Okay, the first one that I'm going to pull out over here is going to be a mainstay of the Justice League, the Martian Manhunter. It's a very, very good sculpt on this guy. Really like him. This one's particularly a little bit funny because it shows him eating an Oreo cookie, which in the comic books, that's kind of a joke they've made that he loves Oreos. So I love the green on this particular Martian Manhunter. Sometimes they make him a darker green. I personally like the lighter green, like this right here. Reminds me of the 1984 Superpowers line. And the Martian Manhunter, depends on who's riding him, is really even more powerful than Superman. So there he is, a mainstay and a backbone of the Justice League, Martian Manhunter. What a great looking figure. Okay, the next one's from a storyline called Kingdom Come. Kind of a more unusual character. Doesn't really look like a good guy, and he is called Dead Man. And he is dead. He's a ghost. This particular figure, his mouth will open and close. And wow. That is a really, really well-made skeleton figure. And just the costume clinging to the bones. What a great job they did with this figure. You can see the bones protruding through his costume. The costume's ripped. Wow, looks great. So he can jump into the bodies of people. I guess you call that possession. And talk through them that way. Most people can't see him because he's dead. He's a ghost. But a very, very cool Dead Man figure. Okay, so the next two came from a two-pack, actually. They came together. And this is a some kind of a dark Superman. Not really sure the storyline this came from. But that's a very cool figure, very large and bulky. And you can take off the heat vision if you want. And there's his red eyes. It just looks really cool, this contrast. The black instead of the blue. Very, very cool Superman figure. Like I said, maybe someone out there knows what storyline this came from. I haven't read it. But a cool figure nonetheless. He looks really good on your shelves. And that actually came packaged with this Batman in armor. Obviously, this is from the Batman versus Superman storyline by Frank Miller, or the movie they made. And it's a really cool figure. It's really well done. It looks just like the Batman in armor from the comic books. Except he's in that darker color scheme. Really like the grimace there on his face, showing his determination to beat Superman. Very cool. What I like about this figure too is the spikes there on his feet. I thought that was a nice touch. Very cool Batman. All right. A very, very minor hero, but a fun figure is Booster Gold. And there he is. This is a DC, let's see, Universe. It's not a Classics figure. It's a DC Direct figure. That's what I'm looking for, DC Direct. But the paint job is really, really well done. You can see that he's very shiny. And his face is, I think, really particularly well done. I really like the goggles on this guy. And that half smirk, the smile there on his face, captures Booster Gold perfect. That's a really, really nice Booster Gold figure. All right, so let's go over to the villain side now. Brainiac. What a dangerous figure, or a dangerous character this guy is, and what a great figure. Once again, this harkens back to the Superpowers line from 1984, 85, 86. They released a Brainiac figure that looked, a lot like this. Most of the time, Brainiac is basically a green humanoid, but I particularly like this one right here that shows him just like in a robot body. And that is, in my humble opinion, one of the best Brainiac figures ever made. I love the proportions on this guy. The silver looks great. I really like the translucent plastic here on his arms and his head. Makes it look really, really cool. Very, very cool looking bad guy. Okay, moving on to a really, really good figure. He doesn't stand up so well, so I'm going to hold him in the back there, but that is Cyborg Superman. This is a newer figure, came out, I think 3, maybe 4 years ago. And wow, they did a great job capturing Cyborg Superman. The detail on the cyborg parts there in the face, that just looks really, really good. And the colors are so good, so classic. Looks just like what you picture Superman to be. So there he is. A very cool villain. Cyborg Superman. All right. He's probably going to fall over. I'm going to put him right there against Batman. All right. A very large BAF, they called him, Build-A figure. King Shark. Wow. Look at this monster. Would definitely not want to run into this guy in a dark alley. And his mouth is articulated. You can open and close his jaws. He is just a monster figure, and he looks great on your shelf with your other figures. Very intimidating. He did come with a hammerhead, a second head you could swap out. But I like the great white head more than the hammerhead. The hammerhead looks great, but this one, I think, looks more like the character. There he is. I believe his really name is the King Mako Shark. Wow. Would not want to go into that mouth. Look at that. A really, really cool Build-A-Figure. I'd like to pick up a second one and put the other head on him, and maybe I will do that at some point, but he's pretty darn expensive. Okay, I'm going to put the Man-Bat back over there for a minute, and let's look at this Build-A-Figure here. This is also a Build-A-Figure, and this is Clayface. Wow. This is an amazing figure. In my humble opinion, one of the best Build-A-Figures ever made, and it's also got an articulating jaw there. You can open and close it. Look at this monster. It doesn't get much better than this, folks. That is Clayface. And I would say this is almost perfect. This is an almost perfect figure as well. One of the absolute best. Look at that face. I always think Clayface is kind of an underrated Batman villain. And I would like to see him in a movie. That'd be amazing. Now, one of the best figures that I'm showing you today is without a doubt this Man-Bat. Once again, I think he is an almost perfect figure, an almost perfect representation of this character. The face is just amazing. The wings, the clawed hands, just the stance, his feet, the huge feet there to hold him up. That isn't an amazing figure. Now, they made this exact same figure, and they made him in white. And I do have that, and I'll show that at some point as well. And that was, I believe, a convention exclusive figure, the white one. But just overall, just one of the coolest Batman villains. Once again, I think he's prime for a movie. Make a Batman movie with Clayface and Man-Bat, please. Make a good one. So I always think of Man-Bat as basically a werewolf that flies. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Another video of 10 random action figures pulled off of my shelves. Today was DC. And I'll do another video and post it very soon. Thanks for looking, action figure fans. Take care.